Warning! My head's really gonna hurt.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for Flash Season 3?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
season are we on?
Yeah.
Season 3, episode 21. Cause and Effect. I was about to say 5. I don't know. I don't even know where we are.
We're in the far future. I want an entire
2024?
season to take place in the future.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just skip season 4, go right to 5. That'd be really confusing. And then come back and do season 4 after.
Well, no. Call it season 4, but have it take place in 2019 instead of 2018.
Nope, do season 5 first, air it before season 4, and have it in the future.
Alright.
I mean, that's something that I don't think a single show has ever done that deals with time travel.
Air seasons out of order?
Yeah, air seasons out of order time travel shows. That would be fantastic.
That would actually be really funny.
It would.
And like I almost want to say The Flash isn't a specifically a time travel show, but let's face it, it fucking is.
Yeah. Well, that was the hook when you mentioned to me in season 1 that Barry could run so fast that he could time travel. That is what sold me on the show. So, once you mentioned time travel, I was hooked, and that's what got me into this entire DC universe to begin with. And now I get 2 wonderful shows that deal with time travel. So,
Barry, somebody needs to start slapping Barry on the wrist. No, bad Barry, stop it. I feel like the entity in the Speed Force already did that to him.
Yeah, and we saw.
Like, I'm very disappointed in you, Barry Allen.
We saw how well that worked.
Yeah, really. It didn't. Because not only... That's right. Because the Speed Force, like, said they were disappointed in him because of Flashpoint.
Yeah.
And they're like, we trusted you, not to mess with the time again. And he time travels again. He goes in the future. He, like, just did that.
Well, they to be fair, they specifically said the past.
I know, but...
Yeah, no, I know. I'm agreeing with you, but at the same time, I'm like, Barry, you got them on a technicality, so I can't. Yeah. I can't really say anything, Barry. Cannot. But you're.
I can just imagine the next time Barry has to talk to them, they're just like, I know we didn't specifically, but come on.
Yeah, but I don't see them yelling at Barry's time revenant. He's technically going back because he's from the future. So but
it's not the time remnant's fault. Technically, it is Barry's fault. He created the time remnants.
Yeah. The whole concept of this closed loop makes sense and hurts my head all at the same time. Like, it does make sense, but it doesn't make sense.
I think what made it...
This is the compass from Lost all over again.
Yeah. But...
It has no... start point, and it has no end point. It just infinitely goes around to present day, to the future, loops back around to the past, and that past version comes back around to the future.
I think the compass is a little different, because we know exactly when, because Barry makes the time remnants. That happens. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there is kind of a start. There's an inception point to the loop. No, you're right. He creates it to stop
S.T.A.R.
the time remnant.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. You're right.
Yeah. No, it's the exact same thing as the compass from Lost, and this was the only flaw that I had with Lost was this compass. If you've never seen Lost, it's not gonna do anything to you. No, this does not ruin the story. Anything. This is a very minuscule side plot that has, like, very, very little bearing over the actual course of the story. But the compass works the very same way. It does not have a beginning point, it does not have an end point. It does a lot of time travel shenanigans that should not be happening. Same way that this Revenant is going on. Like, almost the exact same way.
And I mean, what cinched it for me was when Savitar, I gotta call him Savitar. Mm-hmm. When Savitar equated it to fucking, what's his name? Shooting himself in the head, but Eddie's still running around.
Right. Or shooting Eddie. And
No,
Eobard's still running
Eddie's
around.
shooting himself, and then
Eobard's still running around.
Eobard's still running around.
Yeah.
I got the E's mixed up.
Yeah, you did. It's fine. I knew what you meant.
Yeah, and he even said, it's something I think we've brought up, but they said in the show, the more you fuck with time, the more the rules don't apply to you.
Yeah.
And the more you can get away with this weird closed loop shit.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's a pretty terrible explanation. It's a pretty cop-out explanation. But actually, I get what he means, but you still have to have rules.
Yes, of course there are rules. But, I mean, this is a thing that is said in Doctor Who. If you are a time traveler, you are exempt from a lot of the, like, rewrites of memories that some people who aren't time travelers experience when things change.
Yeah, like Back to the Future memory. Yeah.
So I think that's,
but
it's just like taking that to the next level.
It still doesn't explain the closed loop.
The rules, well, not only is he a time remnant of Barry, who has fucked with time so much that, like, the rules bend around him, but he is... I forgot where I was going with this.
I know what you're saying, and I know the
I know.
I know the purpose of it, but it still doesn't explain the semantics behind how the closed loop actually started. Like that is the thing I can never grasp, is there has to be an origin point at some point, and there's clearly not, and I cannot wrap my head around that. Yeah,
and we talked about this in season 1. When we were like, okay, so there was a timeline before Eobard came back and killed Barry's mom, but then if that didn't happen, he might not have been Flash. So there's even...
No, he was Flash, because Eobard said he became the Flash.
Oh, yeah, but he wouldn't
Everything
have
was
been
like
the same.
a year later.
Yes, but if his mother wasn't dead, what was the kind of man he would become?
Exactly.
So there's even sort of...
That makes more sense to me, though. Like, that... I can get behind, there was an alternate timeline, an original timeline that was altered, and we didn't see that. That I can grasp. I just can't grasp something that does not have a beginning. Like, that concept to me, just, I can't fathom it.
I wonder if we're going to get more...
There's no sitting here talking and explaining that could get me to realistically believe this time remnant. Like, I can't. I understand it's happening. I understand what it is. I get the whole concept of it. It's just the fact that it even exists destroys all logic in my brain.
We might get more information about that.
I hope we do.
In the future. But it could be he was a time remnant made for another purpose that became Savitar.
In the original timeline?
In the original, yeah. And then he's just been in this loop so long that he now does not remember the original reason. But I don't know. There was only so much monologuing that Savitar had time for this episode.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't even Savitar that explained this. It was Cisco that explained the time loop.
Yeah, Cisco explained the time loop, but Savitar was monologuing about
how he couldn't remember anything.
You shunned me, and I wasn't the Barry, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's so terrible for me.
Yeah.
Because you know that's not the whole picture. You know they didn't just, like, send him off to die. Like, that was not...
I mean...
That's not the whole story.
It's probably not the whole story, but at the same time, I kind of see it playing out that way. Because you've seen how the team is just so focused on them.
Yeah.
Right? And then, say they have another Barry around. They're not going to pay as much attention to Time Remnant Barry as they are their Barry.
Yes, of course. But not paying enough attention to somebody isn't the same as saying, go fuck off and die.
Well,
which is basically what Savitar said they did to him.
Yeah, in a way. But it's like, something happens and it's like, hey, Barry, no, we don't need you, Time Remnant Barry.
Yeah.
Barry, you go do it. So then that Barry's going to feel neglected and he's going to be like, well, they're basically not paying attention. They don't care. They don't want me around. You know, that's where that's going. You know, but yeah, we don't know the whole semantics of when.
Yeah. And if
Barry
this has
didn't
all
die,
happened,
Barry didn't die, and then Time Remnant Barry was created to replace him or anything like that. Like, they both existed at the same time.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm now confused because Savitar's laid this all out. He's explained this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And now that Barry knows there's going to be a Time Remnant that lives, why would he then, A, make the Time Remnants in the first place, or B, treat the one that lives like shit? Like, wouldn't you... And presumably this exact conversation happened for Savitar in the past already.
Well,
so
it's not that the exact already it's every conversation that they're having. Yes. He's remembering as the past in real time because it keeps getting altered every time.
Okay.
So that was the whole purpose of this experiment thing that Cisco was doing, was to stop making new memories because they could never get ahead of him if he's always, every time they change something, if Savitar's remembering it as his past, you know?
Which, and the last couple of episodes, we've seen like an evolution of like crazy scientist Cisco. So his hair's gotten a little more frizzy, you know, he's just like a little crazier. And I think he's just grasping at straws because he's like, I got a great idea, or the worst idea ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know why they thought that was going to be a good idea to try to stop Barry from having short-term memory.
I mean, it was a pretty good idea. I'm not going to lie. It was a pretty good idea because it worked. If you saw Savitar...
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
it worked.
It worked. They could have taken the time and defeated Savitar while Barry didn't have his memories, right? They could have built Barry up because Caitlin's like, oh, what are you going to do? There's no Flash around. Well, Barry still has his powers, right? So, you know, you could do that. But he couldn't
use them.
He could. Yeah, well, he had to be retrained, right? It's not something that's going to happen in one episode, but they could have spent, you know, a couple months and then hunted Savitar down. Savitar can't even focus. He doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know what his purpose is. He doesn't know that he's supposed to kill Iris. He doesn't know that he's got to kill Barry. He doesn't know anything. So they could take this time, fill Barry in, and be like, look, here's what's going on. I know you can't remember it, but what we need Savitar defeated, right? So now, with him having no memories, you having no memories, we have the advantage. You kill Savitar, or you stop Savitar, we trap him in the Speed Force, we can give you your memories back.
But then you'd run into the same problem they ran into this episode, which was people are dying and there is no superhero in the city.
Well, that's what the police are for.
Silly, dumb. Police can't do their job. God.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Vigilantes are totally the answer. We need to replace...
Vigilante justice.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll enact...
the universe, dude.
We'll enact the Supergirl clause.
Huh?
We'll enact the Supergirl clause.
What's the Supergirl clause?
Yeah. You remember the episode Alex? Or did you not watch that one?
I did.
Yeah, remember they were sitting at the table and Alex's Maggie was like, yeah, prisoners enact the Supergirl clause. Where extensive brute force gets them time off. So we'll just enact the Flash clause.
Actually, now that that's happened in Supergirl, I'm waiting.
Right?
For that to also happen.
Yeah.
Although, let's face it, it's probably more likely to happen on Arrow because, you know, Ollie goes overboard.
Hashtag politics.
Listen, they say they're, you know, what, John's shooting Diggle's shooting rubber bullets. I think they're still actually shooting people. Just saying.
Maybe.
Anyway, we're talking about the Flash today.
Mm-hmm.
God, Barry with no memory is like a...
You mean Bart?
I lost it because Bart's his grandson. Bart Allen is Impulse.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yes. And now I can't remember if it's grandson or great-grandson. I forgot now.
I don't know.
But the speedster Impulse's name is Bart Allen, and he is from the future.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot what year. I thought that was so funny.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian said this was the funniest episode of the season. I do agree. This was probably the funniest, or he said it was the funnest. Or funniest? No, funniest. Yeah. It was both. I think it was the most fun episode we've had and the funniest episode we've had in a while.
Yeah, they were all freaking out, trying to, tell Barry what's going on, and I'm sitting there laughing. I'm like, I probably shouldn't be laughing at this, but this is funny.
Mm-hmm.
The entire thing in the courtroom. Oh my god. Why would he type an emoji? Also, why would he say out loud smiley face?
Because he doesn't have his memory. He doesn't know. He's just reading things.
Why, Julian? Why would you do that?
That's like when you get someone who's never acted before, and they're reading, and they're reading, and they say, "Turn to your right," and they say, "Turn to your right," but it's a stage direction. You see that all the time. That's that. But really, you wouldn't make these glasses waterproof?
He made them in 20 minutes. I mean,
I don't care. If a bead of sweat is gonna destroy these glasses, then your 20 minutes were not even worth our time.
It wasn't. Yeah. Was that Lucius Coolidge? Who I don't even fucking remember him. When was that this season? Probably, right?
Was that his name, Lucius?
Yeah.
I'll look him up.
What was his code name was something stupid.
I will look him up right now.
Oh god, Nate, it doesn't say what his code name was. It was but what, Julian was making fun of his name while he was sitting right behind him. Huh? Heatmonger. Yeah. I love when Cisco was like, I like the name, and Julian realized he was sitting in front of him. His face was fucking hilarious.
I don't see anything on the Heatmonger. Everything that mentions him mentions this episode.
He might not have been in an episode then. It might have been something that happened outside of an episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, friggin' Julian and Cisco were a great duo this episode.
Yeah, they were.
I guess Cisco needs another person to bother him in the lab because HR's off helping what's-her-face. It's gonna take me a while to remember her name. She's still name.
Trish?
Trish.
I think it's Trish, right?
Tracy.
There we go.
Trish is Jessica Jones.
No, Trish is actually someone who's on iZombie this week. So,
yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's working on this. I think it's the Speed Force Cannon is the actual name for it, and HR just insists on calling it a bazooka.
I like the bazooka better, I'm not gonna lie.
I like the cannon. Speed Force Cannon sounds better. It also sounds like a 5-year-old didn't name it.
I don't know, the bazooka sounds a lot more disruptive than a cannon.
Alright.
Because the way I think of it is you think of a cannon, and obviously you're thinking of a cannonball. So the cannonball goes in, and it shoots, and it's going to destroy whatever it hits, but there's no explosion. Bazooka is going to have a huge explosion.
But there's not going to be an explosion with the Speed Force Cannon.
We don't know that.
I'm 90% sure there's not going to be an explosion.
I don't know.
I feel like it's going to be more like a warp.
How does that go? Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe.
Honestly, I'm thinking something similar to what happened to Wally when he got sucked in the Speed Force.
Yeah.
I'm thinking a portal that just sucks him in and he can't get out.
Yeah, it could be.
What it feels like. I was gonna say something else about Speed Force. Maybe not. Man, my brain is.
Well, we mentioned, or Barry mentioned, we're not gods or whatever. Jay said we're not gods, and then I'm like, oh yeah, Jay's still in the Speed Force.
Yeah.
So are we gonna get Jay back, or what are we doing
Hopefully.
with that? What are we doing with that?
Here's the thing: if the Speed Force needs a speedster in there, if they shove S.T.A.R in there, is it gonna spit Jay out?
I hope.
Because it might.
If not, S.T.A.R is gonna spit Jay out. Patooey.
Oh, Lee is saying that Cisco said Julian reminded... Or no, Cisco said, yeah, Julian reminded him of Hartley.
Yeah.
Which was funny.
Yeah, because at that moment I was like, I completely forgot about Hartley. I'm glad they didn't.
Oh, man, we haven't seen Hartley since they changed him to be not so much of a dick, but still a dick.
No, but I love that, like, they altered it. When they changed the past, they made him part of S.T.A.R Labs, right? Like, he had always existed in S.T.A.R Labs.
Well, he had.
Well, not the way that they remember it, because the way they remember it is season 1, he was there the whole time.
Was that the case?
Yeah, because they altered the... Well, not the whole time, but from that episode in season 1 where Barry fights him, right? And then we go back in season 2, and we alter that battle, and they end up saving him and recruiting him. From that point on now, he was there the whole time.
I thought that as, like, he had a slightly more recurring role, but not like he was there all the time.
Well, he was there a lot more than he was, so it altered it, so he was actually a significant part, because now every time they go and mention working with the old Wells, with Barry and all that, they mention Hartley. Like, so, in other words, what we didn't see was altered.
No, he was talking about a time before Barry. A time before the particle accelerator explosion, when they were still working on the particle accelerator. And Hartley was there then.
I know that.
So...
I don't know, I thought they were referring to when they were training Barry.
No, because he was talking to Ronnie.
Mm-hmm.
And Caitlin, well, Killer Frost, whatever. She finished his sentence, and she was fighting the Caitlin eyes, and it's just like, just be the same person, like, just be cool.
Aubrey James in chat saying, killer vibe, ship it. And then Lee's like, no, Frost-Star or Snowberry.
Definitely not Snowberry.
No.
Get out of here. Frost-Star? What's Frost-Star? Who's it?
I don't know.
Obviously Killer Frost, but what's the star? She just in a relationship with S.T.A.R Labs?
Maybe. I don't know.
She's married to her job, fellas.
I don't know. Like, I definitely remember, there was the Barry Caitlin moments in season 1. Like, they had their moments. You can't deny that they had them. To say that they ever would act on them again is probably not going to happen. But Cisco and Killer Frost, or Cisco and Caitlin, I could totally see that.
No. Bring back...
That is the only way that Caitlin can have a relationship where her significant other will not die.
Yeah, because if they kill Cisco, I'm just going to cry forever. I'm sorry, if they kill Cisco again, I'm just going to cry forever.
Lee saying Savitar in Killer Frost is Frost-Star.
I mean, if she goes, like, full evil, then I'd chip that, yeah.
Yeah.
But she's now teetering on the good. she's finding Caitlin, and they're still hooked up. Julian's like, I can still save you. I can still make a cure. It's like that's not the point.
Yeah.
Maybe you should focus on like finding a balance. She doesn't need to suppress it anymore. She just needs to, I don't know, live with herself. I'm telling you, it's not. She gotta go see a therapist or something.
Yes. Killer Frost has to see a therapist.
That won't go well. So correct me if I'm wrong, Lee, but yesterday I believe you were complaining about Iris, and I actually thought Iris's part in this episode was great.
Yeah, it was more she was clinging on to, a version of Barry that didn't exist, and Barry describes this is the same problem he had. He was clinging on to a version of himself that didn't exist.
Yeah.
And that was the whole reason for Flashpoint. And it really kind of put that into perspective, I think, for Iris. So, not so much of her treating it good or bad. She was being a little selfish in the want for not just herself, but for because as Barry's her fiance, so it's selfish for her and Barry. But as far as the city goes, the city who needs Flash, who needs Kid Flash, and all that. If Barry didn't get his memories back and she kept them that way, Wally's not going to have his powers, and. And
I mean, yeah, I get that. But she never did. She didn't do anything actively to be like she never said, "Oh no, don't do that."
Yeah.
She just expressed that she was happy he wasn't burdened.
She's like, I'd rather keep him this way, though. So.
Yeah, but it didn't. She shouldn't try to stop them from fixing it. Yeah. Which I think would be where we would run into problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I really liked Iris this episode, actually.
Yeah, she played the role, I think, of Joe, what Joe would typically do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically Joe's role, but if Barry wasn't Joe's son, this is what Joe would be, kind of deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess we can skip to it. So King Shark is coming back.
Yeah. Street Shark.
Which, as soon as he walked in the room, I was just like, aren't you supposed to be in, like, an Argus tank or something? Like, what?
We don't know if he is in an Argus facility. We don't know where he is. Yeah,
we really don't. But he's got some... Actually, see, I didn't know this, but it says that it was Dominator technology that he's got.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that I didn't know.
I don't know how we were supposed to figure that one out, but that's what the wiki says.
Huh.
So. Because they need
really
3.6 terajoules of energy.
Yeah,
which is more than the sun.
Yeah, that's a small number.
Yeah, it's very small.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I use to power up my computer.
Yes. I'm pretty sure 3.6 terajoules of energy is going to explode your computer.
No, it's 3.7 actually, but yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, my computer.
I'm sorry.
My computer's more powerful than the bazooka. Sorry.
Don't I just look like a pleb? But yeah, alien technology will do it. That'll do it.
Yep.
I swear the last we heard of King Shark, though, he was in an Argus facility. That didn't look like Argus.
No, yeah, the last we saw him, he was in the tank swimming around, and then we know that who's the guy that got sent with him? There was another meta that they couldn't control, and they sent him to an Argus facility. Or were we just talking about they should send him to another? I don't remember now. I don't remember if that's something we speculated that they should do or something they actually did. I'm getting confused now.
Well, I don't know who you're talking about.
I don't remember who I'm talking about either. I just remember we were talking about somebody.
Uh,
We were saying, well, they have the street shark. They could go send him with him, and I don't remember who we were discussing.
Grodd?
Maybe.
Were we talking about
Maybe
Grodd?
we were talking about. Yeah, I think. Okay, yeah. That's what we're talking about. When Grodd was defeated.
You know what? I don't remember what they did with Grodd.
I don't remember if Grodd went to
Yeah,
Argus.
no, Grodd
now
did
or
go
not.
to Argus.
Did he?
They took
Okay.
Grodd to Argus, right? Because we did say that. Oh, they put him in the tank next to Street Shark.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what it was.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess if Shark is out, Grodd might be out.
Maybe, or they could have just moved them to another facility. It looked like an underground base, but it could be an underground facility.
It looked like the basement of a castle, which... Okay, so if that is an Argus facility, why would they put King Shark in the same room as a powerful alien device? If that is what that is.
If that is what that is, it may have not been put in the same room, but may have been a crash ship that the power supply crashed into his cell, and
or maybe the Dominators are back.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot unanswered, but I do like the fact that they tied this back to the Legends of Tomorrow, where they mention the communication from Future Barry.
Yes. Oh god, and I loved Cisco, he's like, this is coming together in the worst way.
Yeah, but he's just like, oh, it's finally all coming together, and it's like, thanks for pointing that out, Cisco.
But it's terrible.
Yeah, he pointed it out, it's about damn time that we got an answer, that's what, it's almost as Cisco was a viewer of the show.
Okay, so... Thank you, Future Barry, for telling us that, we shouldn't trust another version of you. Why would you leave out the fact that he's horrifically scarred? I don't know where I went.
Yeah.
Am I still here?
You're frozen.
Okay, but you can hear me.
I can hear you. You're frozen in a headbanger position.
You're just gonna have to deal with the top of my head.
Okay.
That's it.
I wish I can just
What? Yeah, what? Stop that. Yeah, I don't know why Barry wouldn't bring up that it's me, but I'm scarred.
Mm-hmm.
Because that also wouldn't have given anything away. Because, just stop. Get your hands off me.
Couldn't help myself.
Because we didn't see Savitar's face. We didn't know he was scarred. I don't know. I just think that message is too vague for Barry's own good in the future.
Yeah. It could have been
Earth 19 has Voyager. No, you don't understand. Earth 19 has only Voyager.
Yes, only Voyager.
Which, shame on Cisco, Voyager is good.
But it's still a spin-off. He
said he hates spin-offs. The Flash is a spin-off.
Is it?
Yes.
What is it a spin-off of?
Arrow. Arrow came first. Arrow is the original. Yeah, it is a spin-off of Arrow.
Technically, but not really, because it's a comic book.
Well, if you're looking at... Listen, if you're looking at it like you're comparing it to Star Trek, all those are spin-offs. Everything that comes after Arrow is a spin-off.
I mean, I kind of, but like I said, it's still based off a comic book, which is original. Voyager is still based off the original Star Trek.
I'm pretty sure that was the intended joke.
Maybe.
His Flash is... Anyway.
Reminds me of Roseanne, when they replaced the Beckys. Right?
Yeah.
They had the two Beckys. There was a scene I remember at the end of one of the episodes when they replaced her. And they were sitting there discussing TV shows. It was in the post-credits scene, you know how oh my god, what the hell was that?
Sorry, I hit the thingy.
It was the post-credits scene. You know how they used to do that on Roseanne a lot? I don't know how much Roseanne you watched, but they were talking about... I watched a lot.
I don't really remember there being post-credit scenes, but sure, go on.
They're talking about Bewitched and how they changed the Darrens, and what did they expect us not to know the Darrens? And then you had the new replacement Becky jump into the conversation. He goes, I kind of like the second Darren. So it's, you know, like a reference like that.
That feels definitely like that kind of a reference.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So, do you got anything else for this episode? I'm going to move on.
The time remnant is still making my head hurt.
I'm good.
Nope, still destroying my brain. Every second it exists, it's destroying my brain.
Next episode, is there any way to refresh my thingy there? Because my camera's working fine. I don't know what it's your problem.
No, you're frozen on Skype entirely.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Next week is called Infantino Street. Infanta.
Yep, sure. It's that one.
That one. With only 24 hours left until S.T.A.R murders Iris. Wow, really? We're down that close to the wire? All right.
I mean, there's 23 episodes. This is episode, 21?
22.
So,
yeah, next week's 22. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we're down to the wire now.
And anyway, Barry struggles to save the woman he loves and makes the choice to use any means necessary to do so, realizing he has one option left to save her. The Flash turns to Captain Cold for help.
What do you mean you're not gonna?
Are we going back in time? Is this back in time? Captain Cold, is this alternate?
Wasn't Captain Cold? Oh no, that was Speed Force Captain Cold.
Oh yeah, no, that wasn't real.
Yeah.
For a dead guy, he's really in these shows a lot.
Yeah. No, didn't we just have him before that though? What was he doing before that?
He was on The Flash with Top and Mirror Master. But that was a flashback. He was criminal partners with them right before they got their powers.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, he's in a lot of episodes for being dead.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Lee says, how do we get Captain Cold? I don't know. We're going to have to find out. Infantino. That's how you pronounce it.
Infantino, okay.
He was a comic book writer. Infantino. That's interesting.
Back in time again? Omi, that's like my only suggestion here, because what we saw in the promo, it really felt like it was the evil old, pre-Legends
Snart.
Captain Cold.
Yeah.
Or Snart, you're right. We didn't see him with the gun, so we don't know if he's Captain Cold yet.
Yep.
All right. That's it.
Brain hurting.
No, I just want the rest of the season.
I don't even care about the rest of the season anymore. I want to understand the time remnant. That's all I want. That's what I want. Just explain it to me. Just explain it to me. I want the origin.
Just one thing that you're just gonna have to live with.
Give me episode 21B and just give it an entire episode explaining the time remnant. That's all I want.
I feel like earlier seasons made my head hurt more. Not because it was more confusing, but because I was trying harder to understand. Now I'm like I hit this like just roll with it kind of a thing. Like I'm cool with it.
I can roll with certain things. I can't roll with this. Can't.
You're lost. Have fun with those headaches.
Mm-hmm.
Dom, where can people find you?
You can find me down below at Phenomedom. PHENOMEDOM.
Phenomedom. You can find me at Cleomoto on Twitter, Twitch, and Pinterest. You can find all of us at ASOTV Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+. Just go to the internet. We're there. God.
Yeah. Do you guys know what the internet is?
Get out of here. Show's over.
You can all go home now. Unless you're already home. Then you can just, end the stream.
Then stay there.
Yeah, just stay here. Wait. Just keep waiting.
Just hold on. Come for a ride with us.
Yeah, just wait a little bit longer. It's 5 more minutes longer. We might still be here.
Maybe.
Alright, are you still here? We told you to leave.
Play with my fidget cube.
No, we told them to leave. Why are they still here?
Go home. Movie's over.